Cool. Hello, everybody. So, we are here today for episode number 18 of the Audacious Explorer. Here with us is Monique Alvarez. She's a business consultant who turns women into business women. Hey, Monique.
Okay, so this is going to be me answering what I think you said. So let's see if I get this right. This is one of the joys of being a digital nomad, right? So I'm an international business consultant, and I've got 2 little ones. I'm pregnant with my 3rd, and we're currently living in Tirana, Albania.
Okay, cool. So you're telling us that you are now living in Tirana, that you are a mother of 2, a business consultant, and you are waiting your 3rd one. So congratulations for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And just before we were discussing, and you were telling me that you are actually half Mexican, half American, and you were born in the USA, and now you are living in Albania, of all places, in Tirana, of all places.
Exactly. You know, it's probably the place that throws people off the most. You know, we lived in Mexico last year, and we went to Costa Rica. I've been a lot of places. Even when I lived in Africa. Okay, they say Albania, because most people, they're trying to figure out, where is this? You know, it's sort of like this unknown little tiny country.
Yeah. And like when you are thinking about maybe networking opportunities or business opportunities, I think that Albania does not come on the radar usually.
No, you're right. It's that's not, I don't think that that's what you would come here for, maybe initially. For me, you know, it's the place I fell in love with 18 years ago. I think it's the place where people live in a way that I love. You know, it's a slow life. It's a meaningful life. Family is first. They take, 3 or 4 hours to enjoy a meal. And I just never could get Albania out of my heart.
So you have an online business, right? So at this moment you are organizing masterminds and you are helping women also one-on-one. I'm really curious, how is it? I also love working with women, and sometimes people are telling me, but that is kind of like taking out 50% of the potential clients. So what made you focus on delivering the work that you are doing and focusing on women?
Well, my first mastermind had men and women. And what I quickly learned is women, they learn in a different way. They want to focus on different things when it comes to business. Men are very much more analytical. They want facts and figures or results. And for women in business, they need to discuss a lot more like, okay, how do I make this work with my children, my husband, how do I organize my time? How do I prioritize this? They have a totally, I couldn't teach both in one space because, and the other issue I had was in a co-ed situation, the women really moved to the back of the room. They got quiet, they didn't participate as much, and the men became the forefront. And so I had to make the decision. I actually experimented. I had one co-ed, then I had it all women. I had 2 all women's online, and I realized I have to pick one or the other because I couldn't adequately serve both. And of course, I chose women because I can relate to them. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a woman, and I'm more in their heads and in their world. So, for me, that was an easy choice.
I like the fact that you kind of explained this process. I think it's also a process that many of us go through when we are refining the people that we can more accurately serve. And I know that you are coming from offline. So you started, you are the 3rd generation entrepreneur, and you started in the offline business, and then you slowly transgressed into online. So could you please share like the process that you are actually now offering women, and where are you taking them from, and where are you getting them through this process?
Sure. First off, the whole online world is like, going to Mars from offline. It really is. Yeah. Initially, it's a very crazy world. But what I love about it now is that it does open up my space and I can travel. And so what I do is I am able to help a woman who's very similar to me. Maybe she has children, maybe she has other people in her life that she's responsible for or she takes care of, but she has a desire to make money. She has a desire to make an impact. She has something important to say. She's gifted, she's talented, and she wants to figure out a way to profit from that, to serve others through that. So I teach a variety of things. The biggest thing I don't teach is do exactly what I do. I think every woman has to find her individual way. I think there are business basics that are universal, but I'm not about, I move my hand to the left, you have to turn your hand to the, you have to be your own person. And that's really what I teach women to do is embrace who you are, use your personality. I'm not a typical business person. I have no college degree. I don't wear a navy pantsuit. I don't have an MBA. I don't talk about spreadsheets and profit and loss. But I talk about the things that'll help make women money the fastest and help them be happy with their life. Because if you don't like your lifestyle, then honestly, none of the rest of it matters.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm hearing you, and I have my little cat. It's not mine, actually. It's my friend's, so I'm taking care of it. And it's coming from time to time. And it's like, hey. So I think he's also enjoying our talk. I like what I heard about how you are not teaching women how to become you, because basically they have their own juicy things inside, and you are kind of catalyzing the process through which they become their own person, their own businesswoman, and they are able to share from that space. I think it's beautiful. I really, really honor that.
Oh, thank you.
I'm curious. So something else that I saw on your website and it instantly caught my attention was how you tapped into this. I think it's a pain point for many women, which is basically we know that we have this potential. We know that we have all these skills. And then we are like, we don't, for the love of God, find how we can translate who we are and our skills into actually something that is serving other people and something that is offering us financial stability.
Yes, and you know what I've learned is that it's actually hard for women to receive. They're used to giving. They're used to anticipating what somebody else needs, right? And so to turn the table and to say, I'm going to receive money, appreciation, position, whatever it is, right, for what I have, that takes a little practice. And it's a change in our identity. A woman has to go from seeing herself as the caregiver, as the, one who's responsible for this, that, and the other, to saying, no, I have something valuable and I'm going to participate in an exchange. It's not all give, give, give. It needs to flow this way back. And, sometimes this is why I brought on, I have a partner I brought on. She deals with a lot of the emotional issues that women face and a lot of the habits and patterns that they've been stuck in. And what I find is a lot of my clients, not only do they become more open and ready to receive money, but they have better marriages and better relationships with their kids, because you can't come last in your life and think that you're going to be happy in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what is it that your partner is doing? She's working more on the mindset, whereas you're working more on the business side.
I wouldn't call it the mindset so much as all the bullshit, Yeah. If I tell you, you need to promote your next program for 14 straight days and tell people all the benefits and give them an opportunity to join you, and you go, I don't want to, because what if they reject me, or what if they think I'm salesy, or what if they think I'm too much? And I say, okay, you're going to have a session with Liz, and she's going to help you through that, so then you can do the work that I know will get you the money.
Yeah, absolutely. So like just clearing the way for your strategy to actually work. Yeah, that's a never-ending process, I think. It's a
never-ending process, because actually women are natural business women. Women naturally lead. We naturally know how to negotiate. We know how to communicate. We know how to persuade. The only thing is we have to move the roadblocks out of the path so then you can get where you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. And I think it's very valid. I think that many women are going to resonate with this. So I'm curious, how is it that you started? So at the beginning, I imagine that you were a part of a family business, right? And then at one point you said, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to become my own person. And how was this, like, what motivated you basically?
It was a very windy road, honestly. So I grew up, both my parents have brick and mortar businesses. I grew up in those. I worked for them. And then I went on my first overseas trip at 19, and that completely ruined my life in the best way, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was from a very small town. I had this very small worldview. And once I traveled, I said, oh my God, there's so much to see. There's so much to do. There's so much to know. And I soon after became a volunteer here in Albania, and I spent most of my 20s as a volunteer in orphanages, Africa, various places. And
Wow.
I went back to the US. I think I was 28, 29 years old. I got malaria. And I was really confronted with, do I live the American dream, right? The regular American life, or do I find a way to travel for the rest of my life? And I decided I want to start a business. I soon after met my husband. I want to start a business with my husband that gives us the freedom to travel, to do whatever we want, because I couldn't go back to the American way.
Yeah.
Our first business, we did marketing, and we started doing marketing for brick and mortar because that's what I knew. And then we transitioned, right? And then after I had 2 babies in 12 months, I had to make another transition because I just couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I moved to consulting and masterminds.
That must have been really difficult for you. So like both of you are entrepreneurs, right? So like where I'm coming from is that entrepreneurship is not an easy, it's not an easy thing at all. And when both people who are contributing financially to a home are entrepreneurs, things get very challenging.
Yeah, I mean, when we started our business, we were newlyweds. We had no savings. We had no money, right? We sold one car. We had 2 cars. We sold one car, and we lived off that until I got our first client. And always we were short on money. I mean, it was a normal thing to log in to our bank account, and it's, minus $4.32. That was, I remember the day because it would always stress me out. I was very upset about this. And one day I just said, it doesn't mean anything, Monique. It doesn't mean anything. It's just where you are today. And it's not going to be where you're going to be forever. But if you focus on it, if you make it mean that you're a bad person or you're a bad businesswoman, then it'll take you down. And I had a real shift in that day. And we were just committed to the mission and the vision. And, you have to, as an entrepreneur, you got to deal with the ability to handle stress and risk and minus balance in your bank account sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. I don't know if you are familiar with Rich Roll and his wife. I was just listening to them. They are very one of my urban heroes. They also passed through a 9 years period where they couldn't see, because she was on a spiritual path, he was transgressing from being a lawyer into becoming an athlete and so on and so forth. And it was exactly the same lesson that they learned, right? Being able to not identify with their momentary punctual situation, knowing that they are going to get there, or trusting that they are going to get there. So I love this mindset. I call it mindset.
If you don't have faith is very necessary in business and entrepreneurship. Without faith, you'll give up. Without this hope, without this belief that you're going to come out of this, that you're going to achieve all your goals, then you won't stay with it. Then you won't see yourself through.
Absolutely. And here you are, like you are the living, breathing example that you made it work. And I think that moreover, like we have children, so you are no longer just the two of you. You have people who are depending on you. So then you need to make it work. There is no other way than making it work. And I think that this is very much a business and an entrepreneurial mindset. There is no other way. I'm just gonna make it work.
Yeah, it's the truth. And sometimes I have women come to me and they want to keep their job, or even after they're making money, they want to hang on to this. And I tell them, listen, that isn't going to work. That will eventually drag you backwards, because, you know, entrepreneurs have to be half crazy. And it's this willingness to fly without a safety net. It's this willingness to go for it and just say, there is no other way. I've burned the bridge behind me, and I must find a solution. I will carve my own path. I will beat down this path, and I'll be a trailblazer, and I'll make it happen no matter what.
I hear you. I hear you. I imagine that there is a lot of this tango in the beginning with the women that you are working with, right? Maybe we should have a plan B in case this is not working.
Exactly. You know, what I find is that I have to really tap into more of that wild nature, because we have been so tamed in our society, right? We want everything so safe and so guaranteed and so sure. But really, when I look at my kids, you know, they're 2 and 3, they're wild, right? They're free from all of that. They don't think about what they say or do. They're so free. And sometimes I have to help women tap into their 5-year-old self, who isn't so concerned with how everything looks and making everyone happy, and who is okay if they fall down and mess up and fail or whatever, because we are so concerned about all of that in the beginning. And an entrepreneur can't be. I mean, you gotta go with all your heart and have it blow up in your face and try it again.
I love that. I'm just curious how it is that you are helping them do that, because I can feel the fear. Like, just hearing you say that, I see some little rabbit being like, "Oh my God, no!"
Definitely. I do it in 2 ways. I model it for them every day, right? So they see me going for it. They see me taking risks. They see me pushing myself. They see that I hire people to do the same thing, right? Recently, I told all my mastermind, I said, I hired this coach who has his foot so far in my butt, pushing me so hard. And now I know how you feel. And I'm sorry. You know, they all laughed. And so I model it. I live it. And even though I'm pushing them, they know I won't let them fall. They know no one believes in them and cares about them as much as I do. There are times in my clients' careers that their husbands are like, I don't know why you're doing this. They have no friends. Their friends are in a job, don't support them. And I'm the one in their ear saying, you are doing this. Just keep looking straight ahead. So that they know that I'm with them. And sometimes all you need to know is that you have one person who believes in you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can relate to that. And I think that the coach does, or whomever is supporting you on the way, is doing that in a marvelous way. And the thing is this, I used to think that when I'm working with a coach, they are going to guarantee my success. They're going to be like, if you fall, I will just put the money back in your bank account or something. And I think it's a very fine tuning when you understand that it's not about that. It's not about actually somebody who's guaranteeing your safety. It's actually somebody who's seeing the potential that you have, that no matter what situation, you are able to go to like your surveys, to go back to your surveys. Yeah. It's all about realizing that we hold the keys, right? We're always the problem. We're always the solution. It's about every client understanding that. So you lost money, you fell on your face, whatever happened. Well, you can go do it again, and you can make it happen this time. It's always about that personal power. Yeah, and resilience. I love this word. I've come to like it, because I used to hate it. I was coming on with that plan B thing.
Exactly.
So I'm curious, what it is in your work, and maybe broader in your life, what is it that you find most rewarding?
What do I find most rewarding? I find a few things most rewarding. Honestly, for me, if I'm not doing right by my kids and my husband, the rest of it doesn't matter. So what's most rewarding is when, we go to the park on a Sunday morning and we're kicking the soccer ball and my son runs up to me and says, Mama, I'm so happy. I like it here. I like Mama. I like Dada. Like there's nothing better than that, right? Yeah. And then in my work, nothing's better than when a woman moves through her fear and her self-doubt and all the nonsense that maybe other people have put in her, and she gets on the other side and realizes, I did it. I've got what it takes. Because she's a different person, and forever she's a different person. Mm. And to witness that and to surround her when she has that personal victory and that turning point, that's the reason I do what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you related that to women empowerment on your website. And because I have a project that is working on women empowerment too. And usually when we are talking about women empowerment, we are talking about more the political UN side of it, right? Whereas, white Christian privileged women also need empowerment, right? And I celebrate that, and I honor you for doing the work that you are doing, because I imagine that at one point, and very, very soon in our future, we are going to create these societies of women who are self-conscious and like they know their worth, and out of that self-worth, they are creating a loving, kind environment for other women to thrive, for their families, for their partners to thrive, and they can celebrate that instead of like acting from a space of fear and putting people down so that they can feel good about themselves. So I'm really, really
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we are doing this kind of a work. Cool. So we are slowly moving towards the end of this episode. I have one last question, and that question is about your inspiration. Where are you drawing your inspiration from? And are there people that you find deeply inspirational?
Yes. So I draw my inspiration, I would say, mainly from my connection to my highest self, from this, whatever you want to call it, from the universe, God, this higher spiritual connection, because I feel like every person comes here on a mission with a contract. There's something that we came here to do. Well, when we popped into this adventure, we knew what we wanted to do. We knew who we were. And so what inspires me is to constantly stay true to that. Who am I really? Not what do others want to label me or perceive me as, but who am I really? And am I giving all of my gifts to the world? And I, every night when I fall asleep, that's what I want to be able to say yes to. And who I find very inspirational. I find my clients inspirational. I find my spiritual teachers. I love Esther and Abraham Hicks. Yeah. Wayne Dyer, all of these people, I read their books, I listen to their audios, and I'm just constantly reminding myself of the truth of who I am, right? And so then I can remind others of the truth of who they are.
I love that. I love that part. So I'm constantly reminding myself of my truth so that I can help others embrace their truth. I love it. Cool. So I know that people can find you on your website, and also you have a successful Facebook group. Is it only for women?
No, there's some men in there. Sometimes husbands join. Sometimes you travel with their families. It's not just for women. It's open. So it's everyone's welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the group Success Redefined, and you can also find the link. You are going to find the link in the video description, and we can also find you on Instagram.
Yes, absolutely.
So what would be the best way to interact with you, and if there is anything else that you would like to share with us?
I'd love for people to join my Facebook group. We have a lot of discussions, interactions in their lives, trainings, and it's always where I post what my next program is going to be. And I get to know people. From that group is how I create every program I have, because women are telling me what they need. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I love it. Yeah. Join.
Sorry, you were saying that you love.
No. And I love it when, also people just visit my website if they have questions, if they have, different stories or specifics of what they're looking for. I'm always amazed when people email me, and then I email them back and they go, "Oh, I didn't expect you to write back." I always make sure everyone gets a response. So I'm happy to hear from women and what they need.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Monique. And I'm really, really grateful for this chat. It was very empowering for me, and I know it's going to be very empowering for the people who are going to watch it.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
Have a happy day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.